We have gotten a lot of new subscribers lately and a new member. And as such, I like to show those who are new here what a penny roll looks like that is mostly, if not all, copper. This is something that there's a very high likelihood that you have never seen before from a bank, gotten from a bank, and the bank, um, the roll is mostly or all copper, 80%, 75, 80% copper from a customer that brought it in. And I got these about a year ago, and I'm pretty sure they came from a somebody who was collecting copper. And by looking at this, these are also all copper, or maybe one or two zinc might be in here, but chances are they're all copper. Now, does that matter? Well, it matters in the sense of just about understanding how rare it is to find bank customer wrap penny rolls from the bank that have a lot of copper. And because as you go on your journey, it's an interesting one. As you go on your journey penny roll hunting, you will see and realize that less and less penny rolls have a lot of copper pennies in them. And you will gain more and more appreciation. Like, look at these pennies here. To me, those look like zinc, but I'm pretty sure they're copper. Look how nice this one is. And also nice looking copper pennies that come in very good condition. The 69, we're looking for the floating roof. No floating roof. Another 69, misaligned die. Because I would have to say, if they're one of the main purposes behind penny roll hunting is finding copper. And the more copper you find, kind of the happier you're going to be as far as with that specific penny roll. I like to see what that is. That just a little notch, a little postmint damage next to the L. It's a beauty, man. Stunner. 64. Another 69. Wow. I have to check out that date. Make sure that that is not a scratch going through it. That made it, look extra wide. It might be. Look at what it did to. Let me get out my little pointer. So whatever this is, I was hoping it was like this coloration, but it's a scratch, and you can see it pushes. See, to me, this is done at the mint. Maybe it's a feeder finger or something, and it pushes the letters up, and it widened, smashed up the. I don't think it's from a crimp roll machine. Let me look at that under the loop. I tell you, if that's a feeder finger, that's awesome. It does go in a circle though. Now that I'm, but a crimp roll machine doesn't. It's a straight circle. It doesn't go off to the side because the machine is a circle or is circular. So whatever this is, it is on both sides though. That's the part that I found weird. Anyway, it's pretty cool looking. Nice looking 68. And whenever they stop making pennies, which that day is on the horizon, I think we all know that right about now. Now, as of 2025, the days of the penny are numbered. What you're going to see is you're going to see more and more the prices going up higher on coins on online, on pennies, excuse me, not on coins necessarily. I mean, with inflation, coins will go up, but specifically pennies. I wonder what happened there. Be a strike through. Now this, see, to me, this looks like a zinc, but it probably, I wouldn't be surprised if look at this. Look at this. Wow, man. I never find pennies. This has to be one of the nicest copper pennies I've ever found in my life. There's like no black on it. This might be a MS 65 or 66. Wow. This one's going into a flip. Another 1969. No floating roof. No weak FG. Here go two more. Wow. Holy moly, man. And also, the other thing is, if you find an error, the nicer the condition the coin, the more valuable the error is. I'm saying if the same error was on, uh, the better the condition, the higher the value. So these pennies, these last couple of pennies that I found in this MS mid MS condition, if these had die clashes, strike throughs or anything like that, they'd be worth a little bit more. They'd fetch a premium because of their condition. Here goes another one. So I hope you enjoyed penny roll hunting through this coin roll with me. And just to keep in mind that they are out there, and again, this was, probably got these um, penny rolls over a year ago. So early 2020 or mid 2024. And it was from a kind of an isolated bank, in a small town. Looking at the ear, I'm gonna have to look at that off camera. I'll be right back. It's funny. I go to look at the ear, right, and then I say, "Oh, well, you have to look at everything else." And there's a double die on the S and the T. It's very strong. See, through the camera, though, I don't think I would have saw it. Let me look at it again. So if it was just the T, I might not have thought much of it, but it's the T and the S, and they're both doubled to the east. So that's a really nice find. And that ear was mega deformed. So far, this has been 100% copper penny roll, and I don't have many of these. I have to look at that date. That looks odd. It's funny, right? Because it looks like it's being spread at the top of the six. It looks like it is doubled on the bottom of the six. And then there's this little shadow here. It's probably just dirt, but it looks like a number 9 out here, which I'm sure it's not, but notching and twisting all over the place in Liberty. All right, let me look at this under the loop. Well, if there is spreading there, it's weak, and the coin's in decent condition. But again, to me, it's kind of a little too weak, and it's right next to the misaligned die. I could have shifted it a little bit, so I'm gonna let that one go. 67 Tona as doubling in the Liberty. You can see it really clearly in the B there. Could be just mechanical doubling, of course, most likely. A lot of 69s here. See, to me, this is this person's pennies from, the 60s and the 70s. That's my read on this. I think then they died, and their grandkids just brought them to the bank, or they got really old and they said here, and they just gave it to their family members, and they said, "Here, go get." Because there were about, I think I got about 50 or 60 of them, and so they said, "Oh, let me go get my $30." Meanwhile, I mean, they don't know this, but I know this. These MS condition pennies are worth about $1 a piece. These are about $1 each. Each one of these are about $1. Um, these are all about $1, 50 cents to $1 a piece. Some of them are nicer than others. Some of them are nicer years. And one thing I also noticed is that we didn't find any. They're all P's. I don't know if anyone noticed that. All these coins are Philadelphia's. I don't think we found one Denver. In all these coins, I don't think we found one Denver. Even in this condition, if I find one penny in a penny roll in this condition, I'm happy. 25-cent penny. Now, all 50 of these pennies is a gram heavier. No, no, no. A half of a gram to a sixth of a sixth 60% heavier, 60% of a gram, 0.6% heavier than if there was zinc. So imagine that. Let's just say, call it a half a gram heavier than if there were, so times that by 50. So that's 20, at least 25, let's call it 30 grams heavier than, and how many grams are in an ounce? I don't know. Well, the point is, it's a lot heavier than an all zinc penny roll, right? Got 30 grams heavier than an all zinc penny roll. I thought that little tidbit also was pretty cool. Little strike throughs on the rim. Hmm. I see that doubling on the E. Let me look at that under the loop real quick. Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow. I mean, when you can see it through the camera, you don't even realize. See, I saw the doubling on the tip of the 7, and I was like, now I'm looking at, and since it's really strong on the E, I'm looking at the rest of the elements, and I see that on the 2, It's also kind of doubled, or extra thick, but that E is something else. Let me tell you. That E is where it's at. That's nice. Another beauty. Look at this. Ridiculous. So I don't, I will, I do one of these rolls once every week or two, so to try to make them last a couple years. You know what I mean? Because I think that's pretty much it. I think once they're gone, that's it for, I'll never see another all copper penny roll again for the rest of my life. Okay. Got it flapped over there. That's pretty cool. But at least I get to share it with my audience, and of course, my members get to see it on the day that I upload. The rest of my subscribers, have to wait, just like a TV show. Imagine that's the power of membership. Imagine if you could click on the TV and watch the show before everyone else. I mean, man, that would be great. Who wouldn't do that for $5 a month? You know what I'm saying? Everybody would. So that's what you get here. You get to watch my videos on the day I upload them. You don't have to wait until, and if you see something you like, you could say, "Hey, Jess, look at this. I noticed this, and that's really cool," and what have you. And if you choose to, I mean, obviously, you could just enjoy them. You don't have to talk to me. I just appreciate the support. That means a lot to me. But this was a special treat. And I'm very happy to share it with you. I could think of nothing better to do with, half an hour of my time in the morning instead of vegging out and watching TV. I get to do something productive and share it with my audience and my members who support me. I mean, this is, I'm very happy about that. I'm glad the Lord brought all of you into my life and this channel into my life. And I know I don't say that enough, but I definitely want to say thank you and God bless. And I'll see you in the next one.